Alright, hey guys, we're just going to do a quick little tutorial to refresh your memory on how to graph absolute value. It is something that I can't remember if you would have done in Algebra 1. I know you would have looked at absolute value functions, and there is the potential that you should have done in Algebra 2, but we all know how that went the last 2 years. So, just in case you need a little bit of a refresher, here's the absolute value function I'm going to go over with you. Now this is much more involved than any of the functions you're going to see today. So the first thing you do is find the vertex point, okay? Actually, all right. So find that vertex, just like we do for quadratic functions. Because since our graph is going to be a V shape, I need to know that point right there, otherwise it could just look like it's going to be linear like we said in class today. So we have to find the vertex point. So to do that, you set just what is inside those absolute value bars equal to 0 and solve. So in this case, x is equal to -3, all right? The second thing you do is create an XY chart. It's this simple. Okay, but our XY chart has to be strategic. Since my vertex is -3, I'm putting that in the middle because if we think back to this little graph I have here, my vertex point's in the middle, so I need to pick values above it and then I need to pick values below it. That way I can see what both sides of my graph are going to look like. So -3, I'll do -4 and -5, and then -2 and -1, and then just like every other XY chart, we substitute these values back in. So -5 plus 3 is -2. The absolute value of -2 is +2. 2 minus 1 is 1. All right, and we're going to keep going through that. I'm just going to go ahead, type it in here. To get absolute value bars, you go to Math, over to Number, and then you see number 1. It says ABS, so there's our bars, just in case you wanted to know. And then I moved it over outside of the absolute value bars to get that. Then I'm going to hit graph so I can see what the graph looks like, but I still want from you guys this XY chart. That way if you type something wrong in the calculator, I'm able to see, okay, where did you make your mistake? Does your XY chart look off? So I'm going to go to table, and this is where I wanted to come here, so -4, and if I scrolled up I could see -5. So -4 is 0, -3 is -1, -2 is 0, and -1 is +1. All right. So I'm going to use those to create my XY axis and then plot our points. Okay, it's not like in a straight line today. Let me get a different color. We'll do yellow. I did the black background so I could use colors I never get to use. All right. We'll do this one. All right, so I have -5, -1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +1, oh my gosh. -4, 0, -3, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, 0, and -1, +1. And do you see how it took that V shape? Okay, so that's how you graph absolute value equations. So if you go through and graph something and you get a straight line, or you get something curved, or you get something other than a V, you know you did it incorrectly.